So my name is Chris Cleveland. I'm from the middle of the United States. So like if you threw a dart right into the middle of it, there's a place called Oklahoma there, and that's where I grew up. And now I live in Nashville, Tennessee, where a bunch of musicians and people like me live. I've got 3 kids and a wife. This is my studio. If I turn the camera around, you'd see a bunch of keyboards and guitars and all kinds of stuff. But I've been playing music since I was 10 years old. I started traveling around playing when I was 10, and I would sing with like family or sing in church and things like that. And then I just kind of never stopped. So I grew up doing this and eventually signed a record deal with a label here in Nashville, and have put out a few records over the last, gosh, what year is it? 2021. I started Stars Go Dim in 2007, which means the band is older than some of you guys, maybe, which makes me feel crazy. But I've been doing this band for that long and been traveling kind of professionally for 16 or 17, 18 years, something like that. So yeah, I've sang, started out in just pop music and toured with some of the biggest artists in the world, and that people like John Mayer or Justin Bieber or the Goo Goo Dolls. Like, I'm trying to think of people who maybe you would know as a high school kid now in the world, but people like that. And then I've done Christian music in that world and kind of done the same thing, toured with some of the biggest artists in the world on that too. And yeah, for me it's just kind of coming out and writing music that makes an impact on people's lives. I think I figured out early on that there was a lot of people in the world that just needed to know that someone like loved them and that their life had value. And so a lot of my songs are just about that, telling people that their life is worth living, and that they're loved. And so I go around and in a normal world, in a normal time, pre-coronavirus, I'd travel 150 shows or so a year, and go and sing songs to people like that.
Yeah, and I got to say that Stars Go Dim, you guys are one of my favorite artists out there. Like I put you guys on Pandora, and I can just go jog for hours, and just because it's just so positive and just has a good message, and there's nothing ulterior, and so that's another thing that
Yeah.
I love about your music of
Thanks, man.
positivity. One of the things I wanted to talk about that I just found out, I didn't know that you're hard of hearing in one ear.
Yeah, I'm deaf in my left ear. I was
How
born
how
with it.
how are you able to produce as a musician?
I've never known any different. So I was born with a tumor called cholesteatoma, and I lost track at some point. It's like 14 or 16 surgeries somewhere in there, where they go in and they've taken tumor out and tried to fix stuff. And yeah, so I've been deaf since I was born in that ear. So sometimes I talk out of the side of my mouth because there's like some facial nerves where that tumor's been around, they had to pull off. And but luckily that's kind of been the craziest thing other than all the surgeries. When I was a kid, I thought everybody went to the hospital once a year and had like major surgery. I just thought that's what happened because I would go every year. But yeah, I just grew up around music and kind of figured it out, and didn't know any better.
So we have a follow-up question from one of our friends in Italy. This is Mav.
Yeah.
She had an awesome question, and she had a question about one of my favorite songs that you sing. But Mav, go ahead and ask.
Thank you. Hi, Chris. Nice to meet you.
What's up, Mav?
I would like to know, have you ever started playing music to help you overcome your deafness? And now it's gonna get better. It's like a motivational song that helps so many other people to perceive too. So how do you feel about that?
Oh man. Um, what's crazy? I'm gonna answer both. I think with the deafness thing, what I've tried to do is, and maybe it was unconsciously, like I didn't think about it, but I just haven't thought about it. Like I just haven't, used it as a crutch ever. And I just pushed through. And so, because I kind of don't know the difference of hearing in two ears, it hasn't felt like a hindrance to me. So I've tried not to think of it that way. And then with It's Gonna Get Better, I'm so glad you brought that song up. I was thinking about songs today, and I totally forgot about that one. But man, that is a song for me that really helped me through 2020, and through kind of this whole year is just like this hope of things getting better. And I'm so glad that it's kind of resonated with people all over the world, that they could listen to it, especially during kind of these times, just to bring a little bit of happiness and joy in a time when it's kind of tough to find that. So I'm so glad that you like that song, and it's connected with you.
And with that, would you be able to perform maybe a little bit of a song for the kids? You're
Yeah.
choosing. You're choosing whatever you want.
Well, let's play that one.
All right.
I haven't played it in a long time. Let's see if I remember how to. It's okay if you're not okay. It's not gonna end this way. Today's a day to change. It's the time, it's the place. All that you're locked inside is ready to come alive. Embrace your great design. Now's the time. Lift your eyes. Now, I don't have to fear, 'cause I trust His love. I know when my help comes around, it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. And it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. The longer I live, I see not a past that you can't redeem. I know my identity, values me differently. I don't have to fear, 'cause I trust His love. I know where my help comes from. It's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. And I'll walk through the valley, the shadow. I'm ready for all you have for me. All you have for me. Better, better. It's gonna get better, better, better. It's gonna get better, better, better. It's gonna get better, better, better. It's gonna get better. Yeah, that'll work. The abbreviated
Yes.
version.
Awesome job, man. Awesome
Amazing.
job.
Thanks.
That was incredible, man. So wow, we're getting quite a few questions in the chat from these kids, and
Let's go.
yeah, man. So one of the kids in France, they want to know, how do you compose such incredible music? Does it happen over a long amount of time, or is it just kind of like you wake up with a melody and immediately start writing?
It's both. So I'm working on a brand new record right now, and some of the songs, like we just finished a song yesterday, which is really cool because I wrote it like this. I had coronavirus back in October, and I slept on that couch for 2 weeks because I just couldn't get off of it. My family was so I like quarantined up here, and my family stayed in the rest of the house, and I got this song in my head, and then I Zoomed with some friends in Sweden, of all places, and we wrote this song, and it came out like really quick. It was like, wanted to run, wanted to hide, wanted to give up, losing my grip out of my mind, trying to make sense of all that I heard and all that I felt just didn't add up. No, it wasn't what I was told, nothing like I know. What is this feeling? Hey, something I can't control, rising up in my soul, wanting to feel it, hard to believe it. It got me saying, oh, this is love, yeah, this is love. Oh, showing up when it gets tough, and it's out of my hands, might not make no sense. I'm falling, I'm all in. Oh, this is love, and this is love. So like that's the first time I played that, by the way.
How you do that?
That whole
Like
thing,
that quickly?
that whole thing came out like that, and we wrote it so fast. And so that's like one example, and then we had other songs that we wrote for the record, that we like wrote and then we came back to and rewrote. And there's some songs on the record that we rewrote like 3 times and took a few months to finish. So it's both ways, but a lot of times what happens is something will like come in my head. So in that song, I knew I wanted this like, oh, and so that's how it started. I wanted this chorus just to punch you in the face, when it first started, and then it kind of took legs after that when I took the idea. I think I had the, oh, this is love, this is love. I think I had that just came to me really fast, and so I took that into the right. So it happens both ways.
Wow. I mean, just the soul behind your voice, the soul behind your music. I mean, that's such a rarity, especially nowadays. It sounds almost like Motown. It's
Dude,
just
come on.
incredible. We got a question from Ludovica in Italy. She had an awesome
Yeah.
question. You should be able to unmute and ask.
Hi, Chris. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you.
I wanted to ask, what would you say to an inspiring musician?
Don't quit. So I think for a lot of us, the reason why you don't make it is because we hit adversity. This is anything in life. So you guys can put this towards music or anything that you really want to do. In life, there will always be opposition. There will always be struggles. There will always be mountains that we have to climb, and difficulties we have to manage. And especially in music, though, it can be tough. And so I know a lot of people who worked really, really hard for decades, and the people who win are the ones who stick to it and don't quit, and or let your failures teach you things. We're all going to fail, and we're all going to lose some, but if you can allow those not to take you out of the race, you know what I mean, and use those to motivate you and learn from, I think that's huge. And just musically, it's like, lean into the places and take as much in as you possibly can. So for me, like, I grew up being able to go to church and be around musicians at church and sing to where I could actually play and do it a whole lot in front of people. And so from a really early age, I was on stage playing and performing and doing that kind of stuff all the time. So that got me comfortable in what this actually is. And just kind of building the skill set to be able to do it. So you have to have some of that. So there's a little bit of talent. There's a whole lot of luck, and then the other thing is a whole lot of determination, and just the refusal to be told no. And if you have those 3 things, I think you can make it in this thing.
That's great. Sound advice. We'll go with a couple more student questions, then we'll let you go. We have a question from one of the kids in France, and I'll read it for them. They want to know, where did you come up with the idea of covering a female song for Never Enough? And I was just talking to Chris about this before he came on, because that's my wife's favorite rendition of the song. She says that he does it better than the lady in the movie. How did you come up with that?
I saw the movie in theaters, and I just remember being blown away, like, by the song. And I didn't remember a lyric. I remembered the melody. Like, melody is the thing that like hits my soul, you know? And so I thought about it for a second. I said, oh, this girl is just belting. you know, and the funny thing about that video is a lot of the voices that you're hearing are not the people that you see on screen. So they had professional singers sing the parts. And so I went like a deep dive, honestly, on that movie personally. So is a girl named Lauren Allred that sang the vocal on that. But I listened to it and I thought, oh, that's just like, I think I can do that. When I cover songs, I like to cover girl songs, just to give it a totally different flair. And so I heard that one and it just resonated with me. Here, let's see if I can sing any of it. It's so high. All the shine of 1,000 spotlights, all the stars they steal from the night sky will never be enough, never be enough. Your towers of gold are still too little. These hands could hold the world, but it'll never be enough, never be enough for me. Never, 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 never for me, for me. Never enough, never enough, never enough for me, for me, for me, for me. Yeah, there it is.
Yes. Oh, you just make it look so easy. That's crazy.
Just yell at people. That's the key to that song. Just
That
yell
is
at them.
phenomenal. And so everyone on here, so be sure to check out, Stars Go Dim on Pandora. They have there's a lot of stuff out there on their website. And, when are you guys, you said that you guys are in the studio, you're planning on releasing some stuff?
Yes, yeah, and you guys can keep up with me. Like, I don't know if Instagram is a thing for you guys over there, but I do a lot of stuff on Instagram. You can follow me there at Stars Go Dim. But yes, so I'm finishing my record right now, which is brand new. I think it's honestly some of the best songs I've put out. They're just really, really great songs. It's kind of my response to 2020. So there's a lot of really poppy, happy, like feel good songs. I was really intentional with that. So that will be coming out this year. It's called Grace in the Wilderness. I actually haven't even announced that yet. So you guys are the first ones to know. So a record called Grace in the Wilderness. We're working on all the videos and all that kind of stuff now. So that should be out probably in the fall, but we'll start releasing some music here in the next few months from that. But you can follow me on Instagram, and kind of see all of those things. And I'd love, if you got, more questions or things, just hit me up there and I respond and do that kind of stuff pretty easily. So yeah.
Well, Chris, we appreciate you spending time with us today out of your busy schedule. We can't imagine how busy you are, and you definitely have fans all over the world, and we appreciate everything that you do. And before we let you go, is there any advice that you could give to these kids as they kind of go off the world and figure out what they want to do with their lives?
Yeah, I think when I was you guys' age, I really loved school. Like I was good at it, and I thought I was going to be a doctor. And then I love basketball. I played basketball even in college and did that. And I like music. And those are the three things. And I couldn't decide. And I remember so many nights, like, talking to my dad, like, what am I going to do? Praying to God, like, tell me what I'm supposed to do with my life, And what's interesting for me is I think you can be successful in anything that you do if you take like a few of those things that we talked about. If you've got the drive and the determination, if you got the skill and a little bit of luck, in there too. What I would encourage you to do, I think a lot of people too will be like, God, what's what am I supposed to do? Tell me. And you kind of get stuck in a place where I have kind of this faith that thinks that God is wherever we are and that he's going to walk with us no matter what. And so for me, it was kind of like, okay, God, I'm going to walk down this road. And I think you'll kind of be with me there. Or if I change my mind, you're going to be there too. But I think the biggest thing is just finding something that you love. And this has worked out for me. finding something that you love and just putting your all into it. And I think now it's like, um, if I would have known, sometimes it's good not to know how hard it is because you'd never walk down that road. If I knew how hard music was when I was, 16, I probably wouldn't have done it. But, the way it was opened up to me, it really worked. So my encouragement to you guys is to find value in life in as many places as you can outside of like what we do. And for me, it's taken me a long time to realize like the things that matter to me are my family, like being around them, enjoying this life, like trying to be a good person, trying to make this world a little bit better in my interactions, and trying to bring kind of like joy and this heaven, to earth in this kind of stuff. That's why I love doing stuff like this and hanging with you guys and just trying to bring some positivity. And I think if you can do that in life, it doesn't matter what you do, that you're going to be successful in it. And because success looks like so many different things, it could be money, it's time. The only currency that really matters is time. So you have to think about that. But yeah, I would just say know that you're loved and then be that to other people. That's my biggest advice I can give to anybody is be good to yourself so you can be good to other people.